we're going to try this flipped classroom thing for the month of December, see if it's going to work for us. Lesson 5 in this chapter is fitting a line to data, finding a line of best fit. It's still back to writing equations of lines, so we'll be reviewing that. But it's related to data points. And yeah, I got a couple cheesy data or examples, but it gives you an idea what you can do. It gives an idea for in business, for example, when they take a look for, do we place a new insurance man for Farmers Union Insurance in this community? They'll take a scatter plot, take a look at what is in the surrounding area and make the best judgment call. So it does have some actual world benefits for you. Okay, scatter plot. It's a graph used to determine whether there is a relationship between paired data. So it might be between the number of people and how many cases of flu there are. It might be a trend with items purchased at a store and the number of people in the community. So that the people in Underwood versus those in Minot, they know, the store owner knows how many should I order, okay? Rather than just going, well, it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to order 1,000 turkeys. Well, if Underwood doesn't have 1,000 people buying turkeys, they're not going to do it. So scatter plots can show trends in data. Positive correlation is when Y tends to increase as X tends to increase. Okay? As X increases, Y tends to increase. And basically what you're looking at is if you do put a quick line in it, it has positive slope. Okay? And this has relatively good positive correlation. Those are pretty tight points. Okay, the negative correlation still has pretty tight points, and that's a little high. But what is different is now you have a negative slope. So the difference between positive correlation and negative correlation is simply the slope. One thing about negative correlation, as X increases, Y tends to decrease. It doesn't mean it does every single point, but it tends to decrease. An example would be the number of people speeding versus how many highway patrolmen are on the highway. So if there's only one highway patrolman, we're going to have a lot of speeders. But as soon as they see 5 highway patrolmen between Wilton and Bismarck, there are going to be fewer people speeding. So that's an example of negative correlation. And there's a lot of examples where there's no correlation. There's no correlation in this set of data. There's so many places out there. The number of people that drive Ford vehicles compared to the number of people in the community, it probably has no correlation. You know, because some people will like the Chevy dealer, or some people like the Dodge or Chrysler or whatever, so they aren't going to. If you take a look at page 324, they have some examples. You can take a look at the guided practice. Some of you understand it now. Some of you need to take a look at it. Okay, here's one of my cheesy examples. Okay, we have a tree, and we planted it 5 years ago, and now we're going to start measuring what the diameter is. We've got a fancy little calipers, so we can measure it. So we want to make a scatter plot. Well, the diameter depends on the age. So the age of the tree is independent, that's our X, and the diameter of the trunk depends on that. Okay, I see that I go up to 40 years on my data. So I'm going to make my graph a little bit different. And this goes up to 6. So I'm not just going to use every single line as one. I'm going to make some sense out of it. Okay, so at 5 years, the diameter was 2 inches. At 8 years, it was 2.3. At 10, it was up to 3. At 15, it was 3.4. At 22, it was 4.1. At 30 years, it was 5.4. And at 40 years, it was 6. Okay, so to me, it looks like a fairly good positive correlation. And I don't have graph paper there, so it's not easy for me to look at that. When I put in a line of fit, I want it to kind of go through the middle of the data points. And I want it to have as many points above the line or as below the line. So maybe this one I have to move just a shade down on this end and up on this end. That's pretty good. But please note, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It doesn't matter if it's not the same. Okay, let's write an equation of the line. Let's use, and this is something that you should be able to do. Now that you have the line, don't worry about where your data points are. This is about 5 years, 2 inches. Okay, over here, 25 years looks about like 4.5 inches, maybe a little bit more. But that's what I'm going to use. It doesn't have to be a point. It's my data points. The 5.2 was. The 25, 4.5 is not. But I'm going to use that. So now when I find my slope, I find the difference of the x's over the difference of the y's. So I get 2.5 over 20. Remember, we never want decimals in that. So if I multiply top and bottom by 2, I get rid of that decimal. And that reduces to 1/8. Okay, so now I've got the slope. And I can pick a point. I'll use the 5.2 because it's so convenient. So y minus equals 1/8 x minus. And my x is minus 5. My y is minus 2. If I wish, I can make that into slope-intercept form. Right now it is in point-slope form. But there's an equation. Okay. Now, when it says to estimate the diameter of the tree at 20 years, I'm going to put 20 in for x. Okay. So 20 minus 5 would be 15. So 1/8 of 15 would be 1 7/8. And if I add 2 to that, so I would get 3 7/8. So at 20 years, I would have 3 7/8 inch diameter tree trunk. And then they also asked us to estimate it at 35 years. So now I can put 35 in for x and do the same thing. Y minus 2. It's not working for me today. Okay. Let's go red. Y minus 2 equals 1/8. And now I put 35 in for my x because they asked me to estimate it at 35 years. So y minus 2 is 1/8 of 30. And I think that's 3 3/4. So when I add 2 to both sides at 35 years, it's going to be 5 3/4 or 5.75 inches, approximately. And that's another thing. You can take a look and say, I can look at my data, and between 30 and 40, it's going to be up here. So between 5.4 and 6, yeah, 5.7, 5.75, that is a good estimate. Right? So when you're using a line of fit, you make your scatter plot. You decide whether the data can be modeled by a line. Does it have correlation, either positive or negative? You draw a line that appears to fit the data closely. And you write an equation of the line using 2 points on the line. Does not have to be data points, but they must lie on the line. So my 5-2 did, and the other one did not. You know how to write equations of lines. Okay? Here's another example with cougars. And it goes from 1980 to 2008. Okay, so again, my years is independent. So this is going to be year 0, this is going to be year 5, 8, and so on. I'm just going to see how many years since 1980. This would be 24, 26, 28. So I'm almost going to 30. 10, 20, 30. That could be moved over. And my cougars go almost to 90, so I'm going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and my next one would be 90. And now I'm just going to take off and graph my points. Okay, in 1980 there were 23. 5 years later there was 31. In 88 there was 33. In 90 there was 36. Okay, in 2000, so at 20 years there was up to 50. In 2004 it was 71. 2006 it was 86. And 2008 it was 88. Okay, now when I look at that, can that be represented? It's positive correlation, you know, but if I were trying to make a line, how's that look? Look pretty good? Okay. Some people like that, some people say no. When I look at this one, I'm kind of wondering if this isn't better represented with exponential growth that we'll get into. So I might say, I don't like a line for that one, but that's what we're working on, so we're going to try that. So when I go back and pick out points, okay, I think that, let's go 5, 26, looks pretty good. And up here, okay, I'll go 30, and I'll go 86. I know it's 30, 88, or actually that's pretty good, but we're just going to use that. And the reason for that, it's so much easier when I find my slope. 86 minus 26, remember difference of y's over difference of x's. So I'm going to get 60 over 25, which I can reduce. I can take a 5 out, 12/5. That's not too bad of a slope. It's not too great. So then my equation would be y minus, let's use the easier point, 26 equals 12/5 x minus 5. This one, because this is a 5 and this denominator is 5, this one's not hard to put into standard form. I'm going to distribute that this time. So I'd have 12/5 x minus 12, and if I add 26 to both sides, I'd have y equals 12/5 x plus 14. Okay. Now we can use that to estimate these others, and I already had shown you how to do that. So this is 32 years after the event. This would be 15. This would be negative 10. Okay, so you could put those in and see what happens. All right, so we tried this. We're going to see if it is audible for you. Those of you that understand it, take off. Those of you that don't, you need to be responsible for your learning. Come ask me questions. Raise your hand. Make me do my job. I want you to do yours. I want